I'm delighted to have been asked to participate in the government conference this year and to present this session on policies and progress for children's education. I'm Paul Craine, a member of the Legislative Council, and I'm delivering the speech on behalf of the Honourable Julie Edge, MHK, Minister for Education, Sport and Culture. I'd like to add my welcome to the welcome you've already had, and my thanks too to every one of you who've taken the time to attend this evening. It's critically important that as a government we continue to work with the community on the Isle of Man and develop and evolve policy based on listening and understanding the changing views of the island's people. I'd also like to encourage you to attend tomorrow and to thank you in advance for those who plan to do just that. The Minister and I both continue to be impressed by the hard work and the commitment of the department staff, and indeed the engagement, creativity and sense of responsibility demonstrated by the children and young people in our schools. It's the department's role to harness this vitality and enthusiasm and provide a strategic direction for this energy, which of course also supports our island plan, the Isle of Man government's vision of a secure, vibrant and sustainable future for the island. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge the young people and presenters who participated in the Youth Impact Summit that was here throughout the day. It was inspiring to listen to the homegrown stories of success and to see how well the young people from all the high schools and UCM engaged with the topics under discussion. It was a privilege to share in the event with them and reassuring to witness their commitment to building a secure and vibrant and sustainable future for the Isle of Man. In consideration of the title of this presentation, Policies and Progress for Children's Education, it's perhaps important to reference two significant strategic changes that the department has made recently. And I'd like to provide some detail on these changes before I move on to talk about more general progress that has been made. First, for a number of years now, schools across the UK and further afield have appointed to roles of executive head teachers and head of school, two separate positions. These roles enable a clear separation of the role of head teacher and the head of school. The executive head role being fully responsible and accountable for all elements of the school provision. They provide the strategic leadership and the clear direction for the school, whereas the head of school role is much more operational. The department has reflected on these developments and has reconsidered how head teacher roles are recruited on the island, so far especially at the primary level. There are currently 6 head teachers on the island who are head teachers of more than one school, and they fulfill a role similar to and different to that of an executive head teacher in some other jurisdictions. This approach has increased opportunities for professional development within schools and cross-school working in ways that have directly benefited pupils. Whilst in the UK, the approach has been to federate the schools, this is not the approach on the island. Schools with a head teacher of more than one school retain their own unique identity within their community. The second strategic change has been the provision for our most vulnerable pupils. As a society, we hope that all children and all young people will grow in happy, supportive environments. Negative experiences in childhood can, however, have a significant impact on later lives. The importance of establishing strong and lasting relationships for children who've previously experienced trauma cannot be overstated. Children who've had very harrowing experiences, and there are numbers of those in the Isle of Man, can increase their resilience and achieve positive outcomes if appropriate protective factors are implemented in a sensitive and timely manner for them. The department has reviewed the provision offered by the Education Support Centre and revised the delivery model. The Education Support Centre continues to operate as an assessment centre, but increasingly supports children and young people within a school environment. An outreach team has been created, with each member located in one of the 5 secondary schools to engage young people facing barriers to learning. Experts in the Education Support Centre continue to thoroughly assess the nature of any social, emotional, or well-being needs and provide schools with expert advice and strategies to support pupils. The development provides additional capacity to schools so they can make decisions and manage the support they offer pupils. Indeed, a significant majority of the work of the department carried out over the last few years has sought to empower schools so that decisions can be made closer to the point of implementation. Last year, the Minister had the privilege of addressing the 2022 conference and took the opportunity to speak about the visions and values of the department and the schools, which were developed in collaboration with staff from across all of our workforce. We continue to strive towards the achievement of our vision, to inspire, empower, and provide learning, sporting, and cultural opportunities that support all children, young people, and adults. In striving for excellence, to be a forward-thinking, inclusive, and nurturing organisation which enables everyone to achieve, enriching the lives of the community within the Isle of Man. The Minister also set out the department's strategic plan for achieving our aims and to deliver our commitments under our Island Plan. I'd like to briefly give an update on the DESC's key strategic priorities and outline what has been achieved in relation to these. Now, I'm going to work through the 5 headings shown on the slide. If that slide could come up, that's it, thank you. These are the key strategic priorities. Firstly, curriculum learning and achievement. It's critically important that development, whether it be personal or within a school or within a wider organisation, is driven from within. This view has informed much of the work that the department has carried out over the last 2 years and is best reflected within the quality assurance framework, the professional development framework, and the curriculum review. And I'm going to speak to those 3 developments now, beginning with the quality assurance framework. A task and finish group was established in June 2021 in collaboration with schools and other key stakeholders. This group has reviewed our school self-review and evaluation framework and developed a new quality assurance framework model for the Isle of Man, which is robust, flexible, and fair, with agreed measures, expectations, and consistency. The new framework has been in place since September 2022, and schools have been implementing it via a phased approach. The quality assurance framework aims to give teachers and leaders the confidence to make informed judgments about using quality descriptors as outlined within the new framework. If I try to simplify that, this is the framework that schools will measure themselves against and which will be measured against, as we'll see in a minute. From September 2023, that's now, external contractors will work with schools and the department to develop and lead the external verification visits. So the schools carry out their own self-evaluation and then someone very experienced comes in to validate their findings. The new framework aims to ensure continuous improvement throughout the Isle of Man education system, deliver consistency, best practice and positive outcomes for children, for young people and for adults using our services. The model has been developed to quality assure across all schools and all services and the department as a whole, to build capacity within schools, to enable teachers and school leaders to focus on setting goals, measuring progress, while supporting the ongoing development and improvement of schools and services and the education system to ensure that all learners have the best possible learning outcomes. The framework engenders continuous monitoring and improvement while supporting leaders to be autonomous and creative when developing and implementing their school or service or improvement plan. So it follows a traditional school improvement model. It aims to provide leaders and teachers with the confidence to make informed judgments and provide assurances to all stakeholders that learners are receiving a high standard of education across the island, which is appropriate to their needs. Moving on to the professional development framework. This has been developed and implemented with the support of teaching unions and is now in place in all schools. The purpose of this framework is to set out a clear and consistent professional development framework for teachers, including head teachers and heads of services, to support their development within the context of the school or services plans for improving educational provision. The framework sets out a pathway that's designed to ensure that staff have the skills and the support they need to carry out their roles effectively and help ensure they're able to continue to improve their professional practice and develop in their roles, thereby ensuring the highest standard of provision for students. The professional development framework is built around the principle that an individual determines and drives their own development, while also supporting the development needs of the school. In focusing on an individual teacher's development, it encourages and supports all teachers to reflect on their current knowledge and experience and practice, in addition to developing their capacity to shape and plan for future learning. This ensures that all teachers have the skills and support they need to carry out their roles effectively and ensure the highest standards of provision for students. Finally, under curriculum learning and achievement, I'd like to talk about our curriculum review. The department has sought to empower staff to be part of decision-making through task and finish groups to deliver key projects. This was reflected in the way the department carried out the review of the GCSE specifications used by schools, in which senior school leaders and subject specialists explored all IGCSE and GCSE specifications available to them and made recommendations on the most appropriate ones for use on the Isle of Man. The next stage of this review is to focus on our core curriculum areas of English, maths and science, the objective being to provide a framework to guide curricular decisions in schools. Once again, this work will be undertaken in conjunction with the professional school leaders with whom we work. The second of the items up there is early intervention. Excuse me, I'm just going to fill my water. You may be familiar with the childcare strategy, which was submitted to TIMLD in July 2022. It focuses on putting the child first and looks at improving outcomes for all children through access to early years education. It provides childcare professionals with a clear vision for the future of the island's childcare sector, and it provides parents with the clarity and assurance they need to ensure the greatest outcomes for their children. It's an important document that will shape the future principles for such an important provision and ensure that each and every child matters. Across the world, there's growing recognition of the importance of trauma-informed care, in which there is an imperative for professionals to be alert to the potential symptoms of trauma and fully integrate that knowledge into policies, procedures and practices. And the department is responding to this and developing provision in school which supports this definition of trauma-informed care. We've also worked with strategic partners to develop a workforce development action plan to ensure early intervention provision, to recognise the importance of adverse childhood experiences. We've encouraged teachers to research emerging practices, have implemented an extensive programme of emotion coaching, training and promote widely the benefits of a flexible and inclusive approach to learning. Further to this, we're providing an opportunity to train as an educational and child psychologist within Manx schools. The opportunity will see one graduate embark on a 3-year professional qualification at Nottingham University, fully funded by the Department of Education, Sport and Culture. A series of trainee educational psychologists development forums will bring potential candidates together and offer them support from the department's principal education and child psychologist. The third item there is employability. It's important that island residents have the qualifications and the technical skills required to secure employment throughout their lives. And that's the important sort of qualification of that, throughout their lives. The qualifications and technical skills required as we move towards 2075 will be quite different from those required now. The Minister is delighted, I know, to be part of the new Skills Board to support skills development on the island. This is an important development in strengthening the relationship between the private sector and government, with membership from Chamber of Commerce and Isle of Man Government. Excuse me. This joint initiative aims to align the skills and qualifications of students, lifelong learners and employees with the workforce needs of existing and future employers and the economy in the Isle of Man. The Skills Board will act as a one-stop shop for skills-related matters, provide strategic direction, coordination and collaboration among stakeholders, and ensure education and training provision is effectively targeted where there is need. The board will also monitor and evaluate the impact of skills interventions and policies and identify skills gaps as well as opportunities for the island. With the support of the newly founded Skills Board, a strategic review of the current vocational training assistance scheme and the apprenticeship scheme is being undertaken by a subgroup of the board. This group is working tirelessly and will put forward its proposals by the end of this year. Similarly, I was heartened by the publication a few months ago of a new strategic plan for the University College Isle of Man. It's an excellent document and sets out the commitments of UCM. To strengthen the inspiring work it does every day, UCM has recently instigated a programme of employer voice forums in which lecturers and employers work together to discern new trends, developments and skills needs for their staff both now and in the future. The Minister was delighted to attend the well-received Employment and Skills event in this venue in November 2022, which showcased over 50 exhibitors from a wide range of employment sectors. It offered young people at key transition points in their education and adults interested in employment or career change the opportunity to think about their futures and consider the opportunities that exist for them. I'm pleased to be able to let you know that another such event will be taking place this autumn. A departmental careers entitlement offer has been developed with schools and UCM and is now in place. The framework aims to support the island's commitment to lifelong learning from when children start primary school into and through adulthood. It will support schools and the UCM in delivering key aspects of careers and employability education that will enable learners at different stages and ages to make informed choices about the next steps in their learning and lives. It's intended to encourage self-awareness and add momentum to the development of those critical employability skills: teamwork, problem-solving, communication, the ability to learn and relearn, resilience and self-awareness. Much research has pointed to the importance of young people having meaningful direct contact with employers, and that such engagement can widen their horizons and reduce gender inequality. In light of this, in April of this year, we implemented a revised work experience policy for schools, taking into account relevant legislation and best practice in this area. As stated in our island plan, we need to work together to overcome uncertainty by developing a stronger and more diverse economy. It's hoped that this will provide rewarding career opportunities, which will ensure economic success and positively impact on all residents. It is in this way that we'll produce a secure, modern Isle of Man that meets the challenges of the 21st century and which we can all continue to be proud of. Moving on to health and well-being, such an important topic in this post-COVID world. We continue to support the Island Plan commitment to an island of health and well-being. The well-being of individuals is an outcome which is improved intrinsically through a sense of purpose and clarity, Many of these priorities on screen will have the outcome of improving well-being for children and young people, including ensuring schools are safe and welcoming institutions. An extensive programme of blended professional development opportunities has been rolled out for staff in schools to better inform them about raising attainment through well-being. The workshops help teachers explore what they can do to create an inclusive learning environment that supports and nurtures the highest possible levels of emotional well-being for school staff and students. In addition to the workshops, teachers can access online resources for self-study opportunities. The department recognises the undeniable importance of well-being, which enhances the social and emotional climates in which our learning communities flourish and thrive. It is in this very understanding that has led to the introduction of emotion coaching workshops in several of our schools. Emotion coaching underscores three fundamental truths. Emotions play a pivotal role in learning. Relationships form the bedrock of effective learning, and conducive environments are crucial for the learning process. At Villa Gaiety here in Kensington Arts, we've already welcomed 100,733 people of all ages between April and August this year. Nationally, the Isle of Man Arts Council has continued to encourage and support people to engage in our rich arts, culture and heritage, and has awarded funding to community creative events and projects to date, totalling over £148,000 in the current financial year. It has also continued to develop free opportunities to engage young people in the arts through subsidised events, projects and workshops. We've increased the number of staff, children and young people engaging in physical activity programmes, with an increase of 15% of young people at MSR school holiday activities compared to the previous year. Colleagues from within the department continue to offer a wide range of inclusive physical activities across the island for all abilities to help participants improve their overall health, fitness, well-being and reach personal targets. In addition to this wellbeing scheme, more than 1,000 individuals who were previously struggling with poor physical and or mental health were referred from Manx Care into Manx Sport recreation programmes and services. Let me move on to the final section on corporate responsibility. The department has continued to enshrine the shared vision and values throughout all policies, processes and procedures. The department has enhanced the training offer across its staff. We have completed a catchment area review for the east of the island to ensure better use of our facilities. We've updated our student award regulations and implemented a new platform to make the process of applying for these more efficient. A review of governance is progressing with an implementation plan. In working in all of these areas, we seek to invest in education from an early age and ensure everyone can access high-quality education and training opportunities at any time in life. Ultimately, these actions will support delivery of our action plan priorities. I will leave you with one thought. Schools don't exist in a vacuum. They're subject to a complex range of forces which shape many aspects of society and in turn shape the education community. Political, economic, sociological, technological, legal and environmental change will continue to happen rapidly. These changes will affect our children and young people more than anyone, and it is incumbent upon the department to ensure that we are agile, flexible and able to respond to the context in which we find ourselves. While these changes affect us all, we as adults need to ensure that we understand the impact of these changes and are able to prepare children and young people for the challenges and opportunities they will encounter on their future journey. On behalf of Minister Edge, thank you.